Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi begins a three-day official visit to the United States on Tuesday. Tensions on the Korean Peninsula are expected to be high on the agenda. CCTV's Zhang Shi joins us live in Beijing with more. Zhang Shi.
Yes, Elaine, this will be the foreign minister's first visit to the U.S. this year. He will be in Washington until Thursday. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry will be his host. A big area of concern is the recent nuclear and rocket tests by the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The two powers are expected to try to find common ground on how to deal with the DPRK. The Chinese Foreign Ministry says the U.S. and China stay in close touch on the issue. And President Xi Jinping is due in Washington late next month for an international summit on nuclear security. Beijing wants a nuclear-free Korean peninsula, but urges all parties to avoid escalating tensions.
After the DPRK conducted the nuclear test and launched the satellite-carrying rocket, we support the UN Security Council to pass a new and strong resolution targeting the DPRK. Meanwhile, we also appealed all sides to avoid any action that could intensify tensions of the peninsula. We believe all sides should make joint efforts to bring the peninsula nuclear issue back to the process of talks and negotiations.
The foreign minister's visit also comes amid tension between Beijing and Washington over the South China Sea. The issue came up at last week's U.S.-ASEAN summit in California. The leaders issued a joint statement. It did not mention the South China Sea by name, but U.S. President Barack Obama was firm on the rights of freedom of navigation in the area. China says the United States is stirring things up.
We have expressed repeatedly that safeguarding the peace and stability of the South China Sea accords with the common interests of both China and the U.S., as well as all the parties involved. We hope the United States will abide by its promise of taking no positions on related territory and sovereignty disputes and stop stirring up the South China Sea issue and provoking a tense atmosphere.
Other issues on the agenda for Wang Yi's visit are cybersecurity issues and climate change. Elaine?
All right, CCTV's Zhang Shi live for us in Beijing.